The local movie theater. The images on the screen. That movie theater popcorn. Experiencing cinema together with your friends and neighbors. In an era of multiplexes and on-demand first-run movies, the small-town theater is thought to be a thing of the past. Well, maybe not everywhere.
Texas is full of lost history, from lost cemeteries to abandoned buildings, from the infamous to the obscure. Hitch a ride and travel across the Lone Star State, looking for hints of Texas' colorful past, our lost history. This is Expedition Texas, and we're gonna find it.
In our many trips across Texas, we've stopped in Eastland, Texas several times. We've shared stories of Old Rip, the horn toad who lived for years in the cornerstone of the courthouse. We've explored the Connolly Hotel from top to bottom. But our first trip to Eastland came when we visited the old jailhouse where a shootout took place.
My understanding, Marshall Ratliff was being held in one of these two cells when he was acting so crazy, and they had to hand feed him. And they left it unlocked. And the jailers went through this door, unlocked this door, and went into the main cell block to check in the other prisoners. And that's when Marshall Ratliff came out of here, went downstairs and found a gun, came back upstairs, went through here and shot one of the jailers. The other jailer tackled him somewhere in this area here, and they fell down these stairs. And that's, like I said, where the final bullet went off downstairs.
Good grief.
That would have been quite a fall down those stairs.
It would have been, and these stairs are all, they're steel and that not very forgiving, kind of sharp on the edges.
It's pretty sharp. My understanding, there was either a leg or an arm broken. I can't tell you which. It's been too long since I've read that part of the story.
While we were at that old jailhouse, we were less than a block away from the Majestic Theater. After dark, the marquee lights caused a colorful glow on the street that beckoned us to stop in. But we were due in the next town, so we had to travel on. This trip out, we were headed to another town and another expedition when the guide there canceled. So we called Laura Hobbs at the Eastland Chamber of Commerce to see if there were any locations available to explore in Eastland along our route. She made a quick phone call and told us to come on. She had someone ready to show us around the old Majestic Theater. Her husband, Ryan Hobbs, the general manager and longtime employee of the Majestic.
Hey Ryan, how's it going, man?
How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you here in the Majestic Theater at downtown Eastland. Now, we've been to Eastland several times, and we've seen several things here, and I've always thought, man, that's a cool theater. I'd love to go check it out, and I never have time when we're through here. So now we're here. It's not exactly showtime, but we can look around a little bit and see what you guys have.
Oh, yes, sir. We're excited to have you in here. It was the Connolly Theater for 17 years. In 1947, Carl Blitzel from Dallas came in, bought it, remodeled it, and renamed it after the Majestic that he built in downtown Dallas. And it's been the Majestic Theater since 1947. It opened and closed several different times in between 47 and 87 under different ownership. And the story that I was told in 87, the current owner was going to sell everything, the seats, the projection equipment, almost anything that you could take out of here to a theater in Dallas. And somebody got word of that, interrupted a bank meeting, and said, we're fixing to lose our theater for good if we don't do something.
Oh, wow.
And from what I understand, the bank actually bought the whole theater that day.
Our first stop was the old concession stand, where a piece of vintage machinery promises to make our visit a whole lot better. Or should I say buttery?
Okay.
Butter?
Oh, sure. Awesome. Very fresh movie theater popcorn out of the 1950s Manly here at the Majestic Theater. Oh, yeah.
These are the main speakers behind the screen.
Whoa.
Probably about 90% of the sound come from these.
in Eastland, Texas, visiting the historic Majestic Theater there. While the theater started in the days of vaudeville and classic cinema, the theater is now primarily known as the location for first-run movies in Eastland County. Ryan Hobbs operates the theater and is about to show us around.
But before we do that, we've got to go into the standee.
Standee? Okay. So what exactly is this and what purpose does it serve here?
Well, it's just a section between the lobby and the auditorium. That way when someone does open the doors in the middle of the movie, that you don't have light just shining in.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can also, let's say you're full packed, but you've got more people here than you have seats. And you can sit here and stand. You open these blinds and you can watch the movie while you're standing.
Wow.
And some theaters have a baby room. We do not. But on occasion, people with their infants will come back here, pat them, feed them, whatever they need to do, but they can still stand here and watch the movie.
I like that. This isn't in every theater. This is cool.
So this is the auditorium. We sit around 612, that includes the balcony. There's about 330 seats downstairs. We used to sit over 800. Those seats were from 47. We had them for 70 years.
Wow.
We reupholstered them several times. They didn't have cup holders and they were a lot skinnier.
Yeah.
And that was our biggest complaint as a movie house is, I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie, the seats are too uncomfortable here.
Yeah.
And so we, as a lot of them were breaking down, we just said, hey, we need to get new seats. We tried to keep kind of the same design, same color scheme as the old ones, but they're a little bit wider. They have a cup holder. They actually rock a little bit.
Oh, nice.
So they're not as nice as the ones that you get in the modern cinema where they almost lay all the way back. That way, if you don't like the movie, you can just take them out.
I see a little bit of design along the wall here, and we can really point it out up here where the light is actually shining on it. But tell us about these murals on the wall.
So we have these two murals that seem identical. They're from 47. We've touched them up a time or two. What's really fun about this is they're not identical.
Really?
You've got this first cowboy right here. He's touching his saddle horn, but on the opposite side, he's not.
Oh.
And so there's about 10 different differences in these two.
Yeah, it's like the puzzles in the newspaper. Can you find the difference between the two cowboys? And I see you have a curtain here. I'm guessing behind that is the screen.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And some of my earliest childhood memories going to the theater I went to in Canton, Texas, was that right before the show would start, the curtain would open and the screen would be there. And then the film would start, like right then. And that's how you knew the movie was starting. So I guess that's kind of the same thing here?
It is. We used to have a motor for that and a switch. And so now we have to do it manually. And let me show you how we do that.
Okay, cool. Let's see that. I guess it's a pretty big stage back there too, huh?
It is a 25 by 25.
Wow.
We would love for it to be bigger, but I guess it's impossible for it to get any bigger than what it is.
Nice.
These are the main speakers behind the screen.
Whoa.
Probably about 90% of the sound come from these. Like I was saying, they want the illusion that the actual sound is coming from the people that are talking from the screen. And so, like I said, you got all these million different holes that allow the sound to travel.
Man, I think with these things, it would travel through concrete.
Yes, yes. There's a lot of times I'm having to turn it down.
Wow, look at the size of the horns on this thing. Now, are these newer?
So these speakers, all the speakers in here and all the amps that we have are from the early 90s.
Okay.
The only thing that we've ever changed since then on the sound was a processor, the sound processor. When we moved digital in 2012, we had to get a new sound processor, and it actually allowed us to use the amps and the speakers to their full potential. And it sounded like we got a brand new sound system when we didn't. So this curtain actually opens up, and those speakers that we just saw roll off the stage, and the screen actually rises up into the fly. That way we can open up the whole stage and have a live performance.
Really? So all of this space, this 25 by 25, can be filled with people or musicians or whatever. And notice how I said people or musicians, because they're different.
There's maybe a handful of places in the theater that were not touched in the 47 remodel, and this is one of them. So this is actually from the 20s.
in Eastland, Texas, exploring the Majestic Theater with manager Ryan Hobbs. Ryan has shown us the auditorium and the stage, as well as the sound system. But under the stage, we'll get a look at untouched history in the Majestic.
Oh, nice. A basement under the stage.
What's really unique about this one is there's maybe a handful of places in the theater that were not touched in the 47 remodel, and this is one of them. So this is actually from the 20s.
Oh, nice. So is this a remaining dressing room?
This is a remaining dressing room / storage.
So probably not the star suite, but it was a dressing room that you had places you could kind of hang things and lights, and at some time I'm sure probably it's not there now, but a mirror back there.
So the unique thing in the 20s, celebrities really weren't catered to like they were. They might catch a train and then someone from the theater would have to go pick them up.
Right.
And they were used to this kind of stuff. What's really neat on this, one of my favorite memories here, Red Frost. I'm not sure when this was, but the Tim Burnett was July of 1938. But Red Frost's brother came, probably 5 or 6 years ago. He was in assisted living and they had a tour. They were on a bus and they stopped here, and he asked, he knew exactly where it was. Hey, he was the only one I took down to the basement, and he said, that was my brother. His older brother. And he had a little tear in his eye, and it was really heartwarming to be a part of that.
I see like the more of the old dressing room doors were saved here.
Yes. We're not sure what we're going to do with those yet, but we did not want to throw them away. We've got a few ideas.
You don't want one on your office up there?
We might.
So when you want to get stuff up onto the stage, are you having to haul this stuff around that staircase, or is there a quicker way to get onto the stage from down here?
Well, the quickest way, if you have a ladder down here, is the trap door that we're right below.
Oh, wow. So we were just walking, this is the bottom of the stage, and this is a trap door that goes up?
Yes, sir.
Is this sturdy? Can I stand on that?
You can.
Okay, guys, let's check it out. Oh, wow. Yep. We were there just a few seconds ago. Are those steps there?
That was a conductor's pit.
A conductor's pit.
So the conductor would be able to stand up there. He'd crawl through that space.
Yeah.
He'd have a place to stand.
It's floored over now, though, right?
It is served as a return air duct now.
Ah.
There hasn't been any conductors in there for probably 70 plus years.
Wow.
So this is the balcony. We have another 300 seats roughly up here, I think a little less. We actually have the original seats from the 47 right here that you can see.
These are nice here, and of course they're a little bit different than those down there, and that these are, I remember kind of when I went to the movie theater, you had these seats that would pull down and you could sit in them, and then when you pop up, they just go right back to where they belong. I remember those seats very well. These are actually still very nice. Have you had to have them recovered through the years?
We've had all of them recovered. I think in '87 they all got reupholstered. However, with it being the balcony, these don't get used as much. Mm-hmm. And so they've kind of preserved very well, and we didn't want to get rid of them, all of the seats, just for the historical value.
So folks don't use the balcony. Where do the couples on their date that want to not really watch the movie go?
Oh, they still come up to the balcony, but it's just
the balcony.
A lot less.
Now, I guess I see the projection room up there. Is that something we can see?
It is, but typically we go back down and then go up.
Okay, well let's go down and go up and see projection. Are these movies? It's a mystery movie. This says Gone with the Wind.
It's a Gone with the Wind.
We're touring the Majestic Theater in Eastland, Texas. This local landmark shows first-run movies and has managed to stay relevant, while hundreds of its kind across Texas have fallen victim to progress. This is thanks in part to the films that are shown and a community that is invested in keeping it active. Ryan Hobbs runs the theater and has shown us around the auditorium, but there are some areas of the theater where more cinema history awaits.
Projection room. And what is the purpose of this huge steel door here?
So this is supposed to be a fireproof door.
Okay.
We have one on each side of the projection booth.
Yeah.
And most of the time when I tell somebody that, they think it's to keep fire from getting into the projection booth because that's where all the expensive equipment is. But
yeah.
No, when it was still 35 millimeter and you had the carbon arc lamp houses, they would catch fire a lot of times, so it would try to confine the fire just inside the projection booth.
Okay, so close that off and the fire stays in here and the theater doesn't burn down. Might have to buy new equipment. I guess not as much of a risk of fire with these current projectors these days, right?
No, it's a lot easier. It still takes about roughly 2 hours, but now you're just downloading it. So I ingested Thor earlier today. It took roughly 2 hours. By the time that we've been here, it's ready to go.
Oh, wow.
Of course, I can't hit play yet. They have to send me a key via email. I plug it in, it registers the serial codes and numbers on my projector and server, and it only becomes valid for a certain amount of time now.
Oh, I see.
For 35, you could run it as many times as you want it,
yeah.
as long as you want it until you send the film back.
Yeah, and so that is their way of ensuring that you're only getting what you pay for, right?
Yes. So this is the 1920s projection booth, what's left of it. The walls to our right here did not exist, and you could see all the way down to the stage, and this big concrete platform that I'm standing on was the actual projection booth. These are the carbon arc lamp houses that they used. Those are the pedestals that they set on. This is an old projector that it would hook up to, but this is where your light would be powerful enough to shine the film down onto the screen.
Oh,
it was
wow.
A lot like arc welding. You had two rods here.
Really? And that's what would create the light.
To shine the movie, yes sir.
And I see a lot of these cans around in here. Are these movies?
Those are movies. In fact, if you look over here, we have several different movies. This is kind of our film collection.
Any idea what this movie is?
Let's take a look and see.
It's a mystery movie.
It is. It's going to be a mystery box. It should not be that difficult to open this up. There we go. Now it should tell us. United Artist.
Is that? This says Gone with the Wind.
It's a Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
So that means there's at least 3 other one of these.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I knew we had a copy of it. I'm not sure how it got up here, but we've never got to show it because when we did buy it, you can see how brittle it is.
Yeah, it is brittle.
And we didn't want to ruin it by showing
my gosh. Wow, that's really cool. I've never seen a print of Gone with the Wind before. Man, what a lot of history here, and just to think that you've been here and a part of this thing since you were just 8 years old, man, it's so cool.
Yeah, I've kind of grew up here. It's been a part of my life. I don't even know what life would look like without the theater.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome that you're keeping it going, keeping it alive. And, you know, we get through Eastland quite a bit. And next time I'm through, if those lights are on, I'm coming in and watching a movie, man.
Oh, we'd love to have you. I probably won't even charge you.
Oh, really? Hey, that's nice. It's not a bad deal anyway for $5 to come see a movie. I love it, man. Thanks so much for what you're doing.
It's our pleasure.
All right. See you soon.
The next time you travel down I-20 through Eastland, Texas at night, if you happen to see a neon glow coming from downtown, take that exit and stop in for a while. Enjoy a film at the Majestic and help keep one of the very few downtown movie theaters in business. Unlike a lot of our stories, this isn't lost history. Not yet, anyway. Its lifespan depends on people like you who love history and enjoy what it has to offer. Down the road, there's another lost legend waiting to be explored, and on Expedition Texas, we're going to find it.